Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The rematch dubbed the brawl to end it all between Dillian Whyte and Dereck Chisora. It's been locked in for pay-per-view December the 22nd at the O2 in London. Interestingly, Dillian Whyte claimed at the press conference that announced the event that Chisora has ended up with a worse deal than before David Haye was on the scene as his manager. There were quite a few other interesting statements and a little bit of niggle at the press conference, although it certainly wasn't the bitter event we'd seen previously in the lead up to the first fight in 2016. So my initial take, and we're going to get to some clips soon from the press conference, it's a good fight. I've been wanting to see the rematch, but at the same time when the confirmation came I wasn't exactly going woo! But it's a fight in which Dereck Chisora, he could potentially do well in. He's good in the close quarters action as opposed to dealing with movers, and we saw that with the Ajit Kabiel fight in 2017, where Chisora, he certainly looked off the boil trying to track Kabiel down. So for me, this fight is all upside for Dereck Chisora, and more on that later. But what I'll do now is I'll play some clips from the presser and I'll splice in some thoughts along the way. And I'll start with this comment from David Haye.
The Dereck Chisora that turned up 2 years ago isn't good enough to beat the Dillian Whyte that's going to turn up on December 22nd. Dillian has improved immensely in every department. He's probably one of the most improved heavyweights on the planet. He's knocked out people who don't get knocked out. He's obviously, his team have been doing the right thing behind the scenes. He's living the life. And I've told Derek he has the capabilities to beat anyone on the planet if he listens, if he's willing to put the work in behind the scenes. And thankfully, he's listened to me. We're both on the same page, and he's doing what needs to be done behind closed doors, no fanfare. He knows this is his opportunity to gate crash heavyweight world boxing. And as you said, there's a potential carrot of Anthony Joshua on that April 13th date. Derek wants that date, and he's willing to do whatever it takes.
Couple of things to pick up on there. Haye is right. Whyte has gotten better since the pair fought in 2016. And that's part of the reason Dillian Whyte is the favourite for this fight. I mean, many are expecting on the basis of a better Whyte that he should be able to handle Chisora better the second time around. That's no guarantee of a walkover or a knockout, but he is expected to win. And Haye, he is confident his man will also do better. And I'll come to this again with another clip in a second, because Chisora, he will need to be better. But the other thing that filled me with a bit of dread from the statements from David Haye was the suggestion that Chisora could be in line to face Anthony Joshua should he beat Dillian Whyte. And if an upset occurred, I do not want to see Joshua square off with Chisora. No matter what, it's not a fight I would be okay with. No way. I would much rather prefer that Joshua take care of a mandatory challenger if Whyte, Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury are not in the picture. And the way Haye was talking, the winner of Wilder Fury is basically not in the picture. That's the way he was sort of framing it. But Haye is a salesman after all. He wants to dangle that carrot out there for us to think about. And that was demonstrated in this statement.
And I'm telling you, Dereck Chisora is going to show something he's never shown before. And I don't want to scare anybody, but this guy has got an untapped reserve of magic that no one's seen before, and in the gym it's coming out. He's surprised. He's surprised. Don surprised. Everybody in the team didn't realize what this guy has in reserves.
You know what? I love David. David is a great salesman.
The thing that cracks me up with those comments from Haye is he's effectively saying Don Charles wasn't doing his job as well as he could have previously, and it's taken Haye himself to come into camp to get the best out of Dereck Chisora. He's bigging up Chisora while effectively trashing Charles at the same time, and I'm not even sure that he realised he was doing that. Haye's involvement, it could well help sell the fight more broadly to the casual market, and if Chisora is on a percentage, then Haye, who'll be taking account of that, will be singing for a supper in the next few weeks, trying to bang the drum and get some more interest for the fight, sell more pay-per-views. But Dillian Whyte, he did find it hard to work out why Haye is on the scene at all.
It's funny, he said he was a donkey. Derek is actually the real definition of a real lifestyle donkey. You know, he teamed up with David and got a worse deal than what he had before. You know, I don't understand it. You've been in boxing for over 20 years, you know the business, you know it goes, you know everything. Why would you go and give David a easy 25% of your money? Like, what's the point? And get a worse deal.
In respect of the fight, Whyte, he's promising to deliver a decisive win.
I'm in this game to give the fans proper fights. You know, I'm not in this game to hide and fight journeyman and fight nobodies. I want to give the fans nights that remember 50 years after I'm done. And this is one of them, you know. Obviously, me and Derek's got the right chemistry to get it done. So here we are, you know. I mean, and I want to shut him up, you know. I mean, the last fight was a good fight. I won by 3 rounds. People, it was close, but you know, this time I'm definitely going to knock him out. Last time he said he was going to knock me out, he was going to do this and he was going to do that. But, you know, he tried his best and it wasn't good enough.
Whyte's trainer Mark Tibbs also believes that Whyte will be too much for Chisora.
Listening to what David said, he said all the right things, but I don't think at this time in Derek's career that he can find that extra bit of what it takes to beat Dillian Whyte. Whereas Dillian's performed since that fight. He's performed and learned and matured.
Chisora, meanwhile, he's looking forward to the challenge and he is coming for Whyte.
I hold the golden key, so the fight is on. I'm excited. I know I'll be facing a very difficult opponent in Dillian Whyte, so I'm just chuffed. You know, you don't understand. I'm gassing right now. I'm excited for this fight. It's gonna be fireworks. You know, we're not gonna try and box. We're not trying to do this. We are going to war. We are gonna be sick and destroy. That's the theme of this fight right now. And that's what we're doing, sick and destroy. And right now, Dillian, we are coming for you.
If anything, this fight is all upside for Dereck Chisora. He's going to get a big payday regardless of the outcome. And no doubt he'll want to draw Whyte into the only sort of fight that he can win, which is another all-out close quarters slugfest. And I expect we will see quite a bit of that. But I am expecting Whyte to be a bit smarter, box in spots to help him pick up some rounds, conserve a bit of energy. He doesn't want to just play Chisora's game. And I'm sure Whyte, he will have seen the Takam fight, and that is a cautionary tale. You know, he can't just expect to unload on Chisora and try to get a knockout, because if it doesn't come, and if he gasses out, Chisora could take advantage, as he did against Takam. And who knows, with Haye involved, Chisora, he may well vary his tactics as well, especially if they really believe that a Joshua payday could be on the line. You might actually see Chisora stick and move a little bit, work off the back foot at times. He may just look to do a few different things to throw Whyte off his game. But if it is a carbon copy of the first fight in terms of action, I do think Whyte will this time get the better of the exchanges. He has been improving. He's a better fighter now. I'm not so convinced about Chisora being better. I still think he's shop-worn. I think Carlos Takam was shop-worn when Chisora fought him. I'm still a bit dubious about these statements that we're going to see magic from Dereck Chisora. But hopefully, if he is better, it's going to ensure a good fight. And fans are going to be left with a choice on the night as well. We've got this pay-per-view, but also there's the Frampton and Warrington card. That's also a pay-per-view on a rival broadcaster, BT. It could affect the numbers for both cards. You know, obviously they're going head-to-head here. But I'm hoping that we do see a strong undercard for the Whyte and Chisora rematch, because just by itself, I'm not totally convinced that it's pay-per-view. It's a very good fight, but it's kind of borderline pay-per-view in my opinion. Eddie Hearn, you know, he's probably going to hit the Dave Allen button again and bring him in for the card. And Allen, he's after a fight with Canada's Dylan Carmen. But with the event about 7 weeks away, it's leaving things a bit tight to get some decent names on the bill to face decent opponents. They could well name some decent names, but if they're just facing knockover jobs, you know, it's going to be another sort of underwhelming undercard. There's been a few recent pay-per-view events in the past year or two where the undercards have been pretty thin. The Joshua and Povetkin fight, that was one of them. So I hope they do splash out, get some good undercard fights, some 50-50s or something close to it, instead of, you know, a big name fighting a nobody. And especially, they've got the competition with another pay-per-view on the same night to think about. So there's got to be some competitive fights to get people interested to buy that fight over the other card. And one last thing of note from the presser, Dereck Chisora, he also confirmed the sparring rumours that emerged ahead of the Whyte and Lucas Browne fight. Check this out.
That guy didn't box for how long? For 3 years? And then he came to spar me, knocked him out wearing 22-ounce gloves and a head guard. That's not a victory, that's just like yeah? 2 rounds. So that's not a risk, that's just a warm-up fight.
Okay, that's it from me. What do you make of it all? Do you like this fight? Is it pay-per-view worthy? What did you make of some of the comments from David Haye, Dillian Whyte, and Derrick Chisora? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.